Here's something I learned after a week of following the bright lines, which is four bright lines is weigh your food and eat it across 2 or 3 meals, no snacking in between, and no flour, no sugar. So no flour, no sugar, I'm 2 weeks in on that, but it took me some time to get the weighing and the no snacking down. What I did was for a whole week, I stopped flour and sugar, and I let myself binge on sweet potato, quinoa, polenta, butter, cheese, and I fed the demon with that just to break free of flour and sugar, just to start there. And surprisingly, that was the easiest thing to do. The rigidity scared me. The rigidity of not having food there when I wanted it, and however much of it I wanted when I wanted it was scary to me. And the further I get away from that, the more understanding, like the more distance I have from it, the more I can kind of like make out the shape of the demon and be like, oh, okay, I think I see how you work. If you're trying to do any kind of program that's asking you to weigh your food, don't be a bitch about it. Because I was, and it's way less scarier than I thought. It's kind of fun, and it shows me, like, I'm starting to be able to eyeball what a portion is. I've been eating an ounce of feta cheese a day, and I would smash that whole package in one sitting. So the idea of like having this little block of feta that I just have that the serving is enough, and I know it's enough because I'm not hungry. And here's what I want to talk about. What I've learned is I'm starting to learn the difference between real hunger and the urge. Real hunger and the urge. Real hunger is, it's deep. It's a deep sensation. Whereas the urge to eat is very superficial, it's very on the surface, and the urge passes much faster than real hunger. And I'm starting to watch the two and understand the difference, because I just finished my meal for the day, my second meal, or my last meal for the day. And it was a lot of food, and it was delicious. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm almost kind of struggling to get the last few bites because it's a lot of food. I'm like, what a beautiful feeling, satiety. It's something I never knew. So I'm starting to develop a relationship with satiety. And I'm sitting out in this beautiful weather, enjoying this meal, watching my hunger go away, watching my satiety come in, being thankful. I finish the meal and I put my plate down, and my mind immediately starts going, what are we eating next? And I start thinking about, I have all of this chicken prepared, and I start thinking about just going and grabbing a piece of chicken, you know? And the fucking negotiator, the urge, it creeps in, and it starts making you forget about all your promises. It makes you forget about everything. But not for long. It just creeps in. And I'm like, wow, look at that. Look at that urge to eat. And then if you just sit with it, I can feel satiety right now. I don't feel hunger. My belly is full. So I'm like, what was that? And it happens in a flash. The urge happens in a flash like lightning. That's the point. That's the point where I would normally get up and start rationalizing, well, it's just chicken. It's not bad. Chicken and a little cheese wouldn't be bad. Well, it's not, sun's not down yet. It's not 8 o'clock. Whatever rules, whatever negotiating I could do to negotiate myself into eating, the whole pound of chicken that's sitting in there for the rest of the week. And I've done that before. And then the discomfort that comes with that and the shame that comes with that. So I'm watching and I'm like, I don't really need food, but there's an urge. And I'm really trying to be mindful about where this comes from. And like I said, now that I've been doing this bright line eating for a week, I can step back from him and I can kind of make out what's happening. If I think about what was going on in my brain right before the urge, between putting my plate down and the urge to go eat more chicken, I had, and it's so it's so quick. It's as quick as the urge. It's just this quick. I had a troubling thought about a thing that's causing me stress that is not even real. It's something that causes me to feel inadequate and unwelcome and uncared for and alone, and all of the thought, there's no substance to it. Okay, these are imaginary thoughts. If I start to pick that thought apart logically, intellectually, it's a paper tiger. It doesn't exist. It's all imaginary. But this thing plagues me. So what I didn't realize, I was so caught up in going from satiety to the urge and being interested in that I missed when that troubled thought came in. So before the urge, between satiety and the urge, was this troubled thought. And the urge emerged as a way to soothe myself from that thought, dissociate from that thought. And this is the cycle I've been in. And I suspect this is the cycle a lot of you are in. With food, with drugs, with alcohol, with sex, with television, with porn, with spending, with bad relationships, with anything that soothes you from the thought of being broken, which in itself is imaginary. So try this exercise. If you're rolling with me on this journey and you're trying to get a grip on your food addiction, try to, if jumping in to the bright line thing seems like too much, or it seems, I'm weary of anybody that's ever doing anything that has a name, so I get it. So if you can do this experiment and just give yourself a couple of rules, call them aims. You don't even have to call them bright lines. Cut the flour and sugar out and just eat 2 to 3 meals a day. And don't even weigh your shit. Don't even do that. But just make a promise to yourself that you're gonna eat a meal and then that's gonna be it. And then watch. Just be still with it. Just watch it. Because the substance isn't the problem. It's what we've chosen to mask the pain. When we get behind the substance and we start to see the pain, then we start to see that the pain is illusory. Look, I'm talking for myself. I can't say that this is true for everybody, but I suspect that I'm not alone. So try this. Do it for a week. See if you can separate real hunger from the urge. And see if you can See if you can start sensing satiety and make that a mark of, I know that physiologically I am no longer hungry, so let's see what happens, and just wait. And just wait for that little fucking demon to creep in and go, psst, yo, there's like half a slice of pizza in there. Or like, you didn't eat all the steak that you cooked. Or, hey man, it's only day one. Hey man. Try it and see. Please check in. Let me know what you're up to if you're doing this. Let me know if you can create enough distance between you and the demon to know the difference, or to sense the difference between real hunger and the urge.